suit characters. So I'd like to know from Mr. Furuya, how did you get started in acting?
じゃあ、俳優のお仕事をどういうきっかけで始められたんですか？俳優としての仕事は。
My name is Bing Pure. Ultraman スーツパフォーマー。こんな状態で、子供の時から映画が大好きで、将来俳優になろうと決めて、それから努力して、勉強して、東宝映画の撮影所に入ることができました。それで、俳優の仕事を私は始めました。
Actually, I've always wanted to, I always loved movies, watching movies from when I was a very young child, and so I always wanted to become an actor. So I worked and studied really, really hard, and was able to fortunately enter and join Toho Pictures, and that's how I got started as an on-screen actor.
When you were younger, what were some of the movies that inspired you?
まずジャパンの映画では、クラマエング、それから、チャンバラの映画、そして、アメリカの映画は、シエン、それからスーパーマン、ターザン、そして、僕の一番、好きなジェームス・ディーンの、エデンの東、それから理由なき犯行、以上です。
In terms of the Japanese films that I was very inspired by, and then I got inspired by watching movies, and I had the fortune of entering a different film production company called Nikatsu, and I entered their talent development school, and through that graduated and then started acting.
And what were some movies at that time that inspired him to become an actor?
そうですね、日本に有名な吉永小百合さんっていう俳優がいました。その人に見せられて、その人の作品が大体全ての影響を受けたわけですね。で、作品名としては大体あんまりあれですけど、ほぼ日活の、青春ものをやろうと思ってその影響を受けました。吉永さん。
I was very much influenced by the Japanese actress Sayuri Yoshinaga, and in fact, I pretty much think I've seen every single film that she's ever been in. And having been very inspired by Nikatsu's films, I aspired to star in every single one that called for a young male lead.
So both actors basically were in the talent development programs, Mr. Furuya at Toho and Mr. Komada at Nikatsu. So how did they transition to become suit actors?
言われてました。俳優にとって非常に嫌な仕事でした。私は俳優として、映画に出たかったのですが、会社の都合で円谷プロダクションに行きなさい、そして、ケムール人とか名護に入らされまして、私は非常に、嫌な思いをしました。俳優は顔が出て俳優なので、ぬいぐるみの中に入った、人は俳優ではないと僕は思ってましたので、本当に嫌で嫌でたまらなかったんですが、ウルトラマンという役が僕のところに来まして、そこで俳優として スーツアクターの仕事をするかどうか非常に悩みました。
So the job or the genre of suit acting in Japan is not very desirable for those of us who consider ourselves dramatic actors. And I actually didn't really want to become a suit actor, but because I was a company man, I was an actor, like kind of a actor who was part of Toho Pictures. They sent me to Tsuburaya Productions, and I had to. They kind of back then, when you were a young actor, they would dictate which jobs you would take and what roles you would play. So they said, "You Furuya, go to Tsuburaya Productions," and I ended up being an alien from a Kimura alien in a film, and I had some bad memories. But then, for me as a dramatic actor, having your face on screen is everything, because the face is the window into your emotions, and I never thought at the time that you could be considered an actor if your face is hidden inside a helmet or a mask. And yet, when the Ultraman role dropped in my lap, I really struggled for a long time whether I wanted to do it or not. But that's how I came to become a suit actor, without having your face available. And then second, I would say the suit itself is the challenge. It's very hard to move the way you want, constricted in what is often rubber or other not very flexible material. And then third, I would say it's a very injury-prone profession. So I think those are my top three challenges of being a suit actor.
Does Furuya-san have a particularly, maybe now, a funny story about something that caused an injury to him or was difficult?
古谷さんには失礼かもしれませんけど、今振り返って、面白い、または思い出深いそのスーツのおかげで耐えられた怪我とかありますでしょうか。
まず一つ、ウルトラマンをやるきっかけは、私は東宝にいて、メロドラマという役を一生懸命勉強しまして、そちらの方向に進もうと思っていたんですけれども、たまたま、背が高くて痩せていて、いくらかスタミナがあって、そして、仕事のスケジュールが、楽な俳優、それを探してました、東宝で。その探している注文に僕がぴったりとはまって、ウルトラマンをやれっていうふうに言われてしまいました。
This isn't an injury per se, but the whole reason why I got the role of Ultraman is, of course, as I mentioned, I was trying to become a melodramatic actor in Toho, but there was a casting call for an actor, a male actor who was tall, lanky, had good stamina, good energy, and whose schedule happened to be open enough to accommodate the filming schedule. This was the casting call that Toho put out internally, and unfortunately, or fortunately at the time, I fit all those conditions perfectly, and that's how I got the order, hey, you show up at this next project.
それで、仕方なくウルトラマンに入って仕事をしました。そして初めて円谷英二監督がセットに見えてウルトラマンに話をかけてくれました。円谷英二さんはこう言いました。古谷君、ウルトラマンは子供に夢を与える、そういう仕事なんだよ。だからいつも子供が君の中にいるということを考えて、 演技をしなさい、こういうふうに言われました。
So I kind of reluctantly schlepped over and to the set, and that's when actually director Eiji Tsuda showed up, and he took me aside because of course Ultraman was the leading role, the main character in this new show, and he said, so Furuya, listen closely, Ultraman is a character in a show that is giving children dreams and hope. So always think of those children when you're playing the role. See more Ultraman, and they're giving you energy. And I'd also recall the words that director Tsude had given me. So I, endured all 39 episodes as the main role. And now I realize too that thanks to Ultraman, he not only does Ultraman grant children dreams and give them hope, but he allowed me to have some of my dreams fulfilled as well.
そしてはですね、私とゴジラで協力して、メガロをやっつける、そういう感じのシーンがあったと思うんですが、私が後ろからメガロがっちりガードをして動けないようにして、そうして、ゴジラが空中を飛んでドロップキックをするんです。その場面はですね、子供ながらに見る方には非常に面白い、そういう感じがしました。なかなかその映画はコミカルなところがあったし、ガイガンが私たちをやっつけるときにポンポンポン喜んだようにして仕草をするんですね。そういう感じが印象に残ってますね。
So in Godzilla vs. Megalon, many of you may be aware, but the special effects director really loved to play with fire, like to use pyrotechnics. So if you've seen that movie or any of the others, you notice there are a lot of scenes where the battles are occurring with flames roaring all around us. But, for us filming it was terrible because it gets so smoky and you'd be inhaling all the smoke. And like I said, it was really hard to breathe inside some of these suits. As for a particular scene, there's a scene where my character, Jet Jaguar, and Godzilla tag team against Megalon. And I had to grab Megalon from behind and kind of hold him still. And then Godzilla kind of flies through the air and does a drop kick. But I think for those of you, especially who watched as a kid, or maybe even as an adult, I'm sure you found it really comical and comedic. So it wasn't just a very dramatic film. There were definitely a lot of lighthearted moments. And, the other monster, Gaigan, there's a battle scene where Gaigan is beating up on us, and he almost looks like a child clapping his hands in glee in that scene. So there are a lot of lighthearted moments.
それと
they start to lose their quality, but I think maybe there are a lot of fans out there that would like to see some of the pieces that you guys wore. Thank you.
I was able to hear.
But for Furuya-san, does he know if anything survived from the original Ultraman or Ultra Q series?
じゃあまず古谷さんから答えてもらいたいんですけど、ウルトラマンの撮影から古谷さんご自身が被ったスーツがどっかに保存されてるかどうかご存知ですか？
僕が使ったのはかなり数があるんですけれども、その当時はゴムが非常に、素材が悪かったので、全部劣化して1枚も残っておりません。
Unfortunately, even though there were so many suits, quite a few suits that I myself wore during the production, back then the quality of the rubber is so poor that unfortunately they've all fallen apart, so there's not a single suit that I actually wore that has remained to this day.
やはり劣化してボロボロになってしまいました。ですが、ジェットジャガーは皆さんの心の中にいつまでも残っていると思います。
So unfortunately, all the Jet Jaguar suits have also fallen apart and are in tatters. However, I feel that Jet Jaguar will live forever in all of your hearts. When I found out how popular it had been in the US, that was only about 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, really? And I didn't believe it. I actually didn't believe it until I was invited to come. Actually, it was right here to WinterCon, and meeting all you fans and finding out your warm appreciation and warm hearts and knowing how much you love Jet Jaguar, I was like, oh, it was popular. Oh my god.
By George Lucas.
And what a unique, truly unique individual. I found out about his passing in the newspaper, but unfortunately where I live, it's about 120 kilometers, which probably is pretty short distance for those of you with cars, but compared to metropolitan Tokyo, I'm in the mountains. I literally live in the mountains, so I could not get to the funeral or the wake. So I made a call to his daughter to offer my condolences, and I found out from her at the time that her mother had also, Mrs. Nakajima, had passed earlier that year. So